Hey YouTube, welcome to Griffin Grills. I am Griffin, and today we're going to be doing pork steaks high country style. Basically, you've got a fire 18 to 24 inches from your meat. The fats and juices drip off and hit the coals, reflavors the smoke that comes up, and it cooks your meat fantastically. We are going to be doing a little mopping sauce, and I'll show you that here in just a minute. But let's see what we got our fire set up. So you can see I've deconstructed my Smoky Mountain because I'm going to be using this cooker in order to get my 18 to 24 inches for my meat. I got about 1/2 to 3/4 of a chimney lit, and I'm going to go ahead and make my mop sauce while that coal is lighting. And we'll be back out here to show you the steaks in just a minute. Get this mopping sauce started. I got about 3 cups of water boiling. And I took and cut me up an onion, just regular white onion, rough chop. I'm going to add that to the water. Give it a little stir to break the onions up. And we're going to let that go for about 10 minutes, and then I'll get back with you on the rest of the ingredients. Alright, now that our onion has been boiling for 10 minutes, we're going to add 1 whole stick of butter, and I went with unsalted because I already salted my meat when I seasoned it. So we're just going to drop the butter in there and wait for it to melt. And that didn't take very long, maybe 3-4 minutes at most. I got 2 wheels of lemon. I'm going to drop those in. Now we're just going to do about a teaspoon, maybe a little more, of just mustard powder. And about a teaspoon of garlic powder. Couple splashes of your favorite hot sauce. About 10 or 11 ought to do. Now we're going to go in with 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Give it a nice barbecue flavor. Along with 1/4 cup of just white vinegar. Give that a good stir. And then finish it off with maybe a little more than 1/4 cup of brown sugar. If you wanted a little spicy, you could add some chili flake. If you don't want to use water, you can use beer. It's just going to thin down the mopping sauce. And just for color, I'm going to add about a tablespoon of paprika. It smells wonderful. Alright, I'm just going to put it on a low simmer while I go put my meat on the grill. Alright, so our little Smoky Mountain has come up to about 275-300 degrees. That's kind of right where we want it to be in this cook. It's not really a grill and it's not really a smoke. With it cooking elevated and the droppings from the meat, all the grease and the fat hitting the coals, that's what's going to provide the flavor. So let's go ahead and get these steaks on and get them cooking. And that is 5 pork steaks on this little bitty 18, which is about maxed out. So we'll come back and check on these in a little while. Our mop sauce is still in there kind of simmering, so we'll go check on that, and then hopefully we'll be cooking. Alright, so we had a little snafu. I put my meat on the grates and it was pretty much maxed out as far as grate space goes, and it kind of snuffed my fire out, so I had to restart a fire. I'm going to take off about maybe 10 minutes off the full cook, let you know how long it took them to cook. And I've got them back on there now, and it's reading about 225, 230. Not quite where I wanted to be, but maybe once the fat starts rendering down and hits those coals, it'll help bump that temperature up. That probe could be off by 10 or 15 degrees too, because my grill space was maxed out. So just keep that in mind if you're gonna recreate this. Leave yourself some air holes. That way you can get consistent fire management. I'll live and learn, but I'm hoping it'll turn out good. Alright, so they've been cooking for about 10 minutes. They're only about a 1/4 inch thick, so we're going to flip them over and apply some of our mop sauce and see what we're looking like. Ooh, yeah. It's a nice mahogany color. Just what we're looking for. You want something about like that, how it's like a lightish red brown. Oh yeah, that's a good one right there. Ideally, you don't want them to overlap, but there may not be a whole lot I can do tonight with this one. I'll try to minimize it too much. Alright, it's called a mop sauce because you simply apply it with a mop. Just get it nice and juicy and coat everything. Alright, we'll let that keep going. I'll check on it in about another 10 or 15 minutes. We'll flip them over and give them another mop. Alright, so outside I did flip them over about 3 or 4 times, mopping the cook side each time. Basically, took about 30-40 minutes. Not a bad cook. Steaks are only about a 1/4 inch thick. And this is our end product. As you can see, it's got a beautiful mahogany color on that steak. I got it paired up with a little bit of mashed potatoes. But let's go ahead and get this thing cut up and see what it tastes like. And my camera's too far away, so be right back. Alright, so I'm back with a little piece of the steak, and that mahogany color, I'm telling you, is just to die for. Let's see what it tastes like, and I'll give you my honest opinion. If you're a fan of the Carolina barbecue, this is right up your alley. That mustard powder, the vinegar, a little bit of sweetness in there. I guess that came from the brown sugar. Even the lemon kind of comes through a little bit. Definitely recommend you give this one a try. If you've never thought about doing high country barbecue with your Smoky Mountain, this is an excellent way to get into it because you get just the right amount of space from your fire to your meat. I'm going to try this on a couple of other things. I think some beef dishes might benefit from a direct open flame cook. But that's a video for another day. If you've got any videos that you want me to make, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any content that I put out that you might already wanted to see. But I'm going to go ahead and dig into this dinner because it's getting cold and I'm getting hungry. But we'll see you on the next go around.